Welcome. My name is Mr. Perez. I'm the proud principal of Cheltenham Elementary. And I want to welcome you to our financial literacy workshop for third and fourth grade students across the Cheltenham School District. I'd like to introduce Ms. Kia Baker, one of our members of our PTO and a parent who had organized this event. I want to thank her so much for putting all of this together. And she will go ahead and introduce our speakers for this morning. So thank you so much. Just want to remind folks that as we're going through the presentation, you can ask questions in the Q&A section at the bottom of your screen. At the end of the presentation, there will be an opportunity for us to answer those questions as we're going along. And if there's a good spot for us to answer those questions throughout the presentation, we'll do that as well. So without further ado, Ms. Baker, thank you so much.
All right, good morning, everyone. It is a wonderful day, and on behalf of the Cheltenham Elementary PTO, we wanted to welcome you all to this presentation from Citizens Bank for our third and fourth graders on becoming a savvy shopper. So I am a parent of a third grader at Cheltenham Elementary, and I know right around third grade is when we really start learning about money, and I'm trying to get my beautiful third grader to be more responsible with her money. So in keeping with the thoughts of empowering our school and empowering our students, we wanted to have something that we could present to our third and fourth graders, even during this asynchronous time where we also have a teaching moment for everyone. So thanks in advance to Rafi and Joanne from Citizens Bank and this wonderful presentation that we'll have. Again, if you have any questions, but hopefully this will be a great opportunity to learn some good tips and tricks and what you need to do with your money. So Rafi, it's over to you. Thank you.
Good morning. I think you went out just a little bit towards the end, but good morning. My name is Rafi Cave. I work at Citizens Bank in Philadelphia. My office is right downtown, right at 8th and Walnut in Center City, Philadelphia. I have to admit, I've been super excited to be able to meet with you guys today. I remember all the great things that happened while I was in third grade, big and small. You guys have experienced a lot this past year. This has been a really interesting year for you guys. And guess what? You're still here, you're still pushing through. My guess is next year and the rest of this year is going to be even better than last year. It's got to be, right? I work for a bank, I work for Citizens Bank, and it's kind of cool that your teachers, that your PTO, that your school district really care about the people who kind of come and talk to you guys, because you guys at the third and fourth grade are very, very, very special. Why are you special? Why are we meeting? Why are we coming to chat with you guys even at all? Like, why do we care? I don't know if you know, but you have some superpowers. Now, you're probably not able to jump out the window and fly, so don't do that. But you have superpowers, and we're going to talk about some of those powers today. Believe it or not, you have powers. Lined up in a movie theater or on Netflix or on anything to be able to watch a superhero movie. I love superhero movies. One thing that I love most about superhero movies is there's a point where they start to realize that they have something special. When they're like a regular human being, and then there's a point when they realize, oh, maybe I can fly. Or when, for example, do you remember in Spider-Man when he first shoots out the spider web out of his arms, right? And he's like, oh my God, what is this, right? That's a point of realization that you have a superpower. You don't know it yet, but you have a superpower too. Don't shoot out any spider webs on anybody, but yes, you have superpowers. So we're going to talk about those a little bit today. So what are your powers? And you might not know it yet, probably haven't tapped into it yet, but the two special superpowers we're going to talk about today is your ability, your power to make decisions, and a power that we call buying power. You already have those powers. The world knows you have these powers. You might not know it yet, but the world knows you have these powers. Over time, every year, your powers get bigger. Your powers get stronger. Your powers to make decisions about your life, about the lives of others, become bigger and bigger and bigger. So I'm gonna give you an example. You probably don't remember when you were like 4 months old, right? You didn't have the power to decide what you wanted to eat, right? To decide, maybe I want the peas instead today, mom. You know, you didn't have the power to say, I want the banana pudding instead. I want the cereal today. You didn't have the power to do that. Every year, your power grows. Every year, you're able to make those decisions more and more on your own. Now, I'm sure you can decide. You probably decided today what you have for breakfast. You probably decided on Sunday what you have for snack. When you're a baby, you don't have that decision. So every year, that power grows. When you become a young adult, you will start making decisions for other people, right? You will be cooking that lunch. You will be making that snack. You will be deciding where we go for pizza. You'll be making those decisions. Those decisions get bigger and bigger. When you were a baby, you probably couldn't pick your friends. They probably just sat you down on the floor with all the other kids and just put a bunch of toys on the floor. You couldn't decide what you wanted to play with. They put the little thing over you in the crib that just goes round and round. And say, Mom, I don't want to play with that. Like you didn't have that decision. You didn't have the ability to make that decision. But now you do. You have the ability to decide which game I'm going to play today. You have the decision to be able to make about what you want to wear for school. Remember, they just put you in the onesies, and you didn't have that decision. To the one that says like I love grandma on it, and you couldn't decide that. They just put it on you. But now you're able to decide who your friends are. Now you're able to decide what you're going to do after school, what time you want to start your homework. You're able to decide what you want to wear for school. You are able to make those decisions. And the beauty of it is a lot of other people know that you have these powers to make decisions. And as you get older, you have powers over other people to influence their decisions as well. So we're going to talk about this buying power just a little bit. Today's youth have a buying power of over $1.2 trillion. So let's talk about that a little bit. Because you're probably saying to yourself, I don't have any money in my pocket. But you have the power over how people, including people at home, people in companies, people like us, how you have the power over how we spend money. So for example, over 60% of kids, all right, have influenced their parents' decision on purchasing a car. So think about that. So out of all the fourth graders, the young teenagers, right? You are able to have power over, for example, I'm gonna give you a couple examples, whether there's a charging station in the back seat, because who needs it? You need it, right? Some of the safety features, how many seats a car has, how good are important to you. So you have that influence over how people make those decisions, including your own decisions. You have the ability to say, you know what, I think I want pizza after school today. You have the ability to say, you know, let's go get fast food for dinner or whatever. You have the ability to ability, and it's already inside you. All right, so let's talk about that in a little bit more detail. In third grade, I didn't realize that I had certain gifts. I didn't realize that I had certain powers. And sometimes you're probably not going to know it yet. Do you think that Barack Obama knew that in third grade that he'd have such an amazing power one day? He probably thought he had something special, but he didn't know that he was going to be president of the free world, right? Like, you know, he didn't know that he'd be the most powerful human on earth at one point, right? No. But one day, one of you are going to be those CEOs of companies. One of you are going to be able to have those powers. Do you think Amanda Gorman knew she'd be an amazing poet at third grade? She probably knew she liked to write, liked to read. She probably didn't know that she'd be one of the most famous and revered poets at such a young age. We don't know that at third grade, but you have powers already. Citizens Bank. We know that families are, I don't want to say controlled, but are led by the kids. The kids are the most important aspects of a family. And we know that people make decisions based off of the love the ability to help people make financial decisions, and Citizens Bank helps empower me, helps tap into my powers of helping folks make financial decisions. I grew up really poor. And I wish that when I was in third grade, somebody came to me and said, hey, this is a cool way to start saving. Hey, this is a way to start thinking of things like investments and credit. Nobody ever came to me. Nobody ever came to me in third grade. So before we get a little deeper, big round of applause to your teachers and your PTO, your principals, and all the families who decided to have. People know you have powers. People know you have the ability to make decisions. And every slide, we're going to come back to your powers because everybody else knows it. So let's say you're in the supermarket, walking around with your at-home adult. You know, you're like, hey, no, let's go get a cereal. Okay, you're walking down the aisle and you see these two beautiful boxes. Which box are you buying? Which box are you gonna say, hey, let's get this cereal? We kind of already know which one you may get, but let's talk about it. Because not everybody's gonna make the same decision, all right? People know that bright colors appeal to certain people. People know that power and success and victory and winning appeal to certain people, right? We know that when we see certain things, certain images, certain ideas, that can impact our ability to make decisions, right? So let's say we're walking down the aisle, we see these two awesome boxes. Companies, advertisers know that bright colors make a product more eye-catching. People know that cartoon characters and celebrities and people you look up to speak about a product, to endorse, what we call endorse a product, mean a lot to a lot of people. I grew up watching Venus and Serena every Sunday, watching US Open, watching Wimbledon. They, to me, they embody power and but did you know the contents are exactly the same in both boxes? So if I look at this really plain white box that says great value multi-grain flakes, yeah, no, I don't want that. I don't want that. I want the power. I want the victory. I want the success. That's what I want. Look at that orange box. I want that. I don't want this cardboard looking cereal. I don't want that, right? But did you know they're the exact same things in both boxes? So why are we even playing this game? Why are we even having these two boxes sitting here for me to make the decisions? Because they know that, hey, I could probably charge you a little bit more to buy this orange box of the exact same stuff, right? So the cost of the box on the left is $2.93. Box on the right, the power, the imagery, the victory is $3.66. That's a difference of 73 cents, right? That's a lot of money. A smart shopper will understand this power. They understand this ability to be able to decide. And you'll be able to understand that people are trying to tap into my power to be able to make this decision. They're trying to tap into my power and spend more money. This might not seem like a big deal, but when you consider that if we buy cereal maybe once a week, right? With 52 weeks a year, that's a savings of $37.96. Who doesn't want more money? Who doesn't want to save more? So this is an ability, this is a power that people know that you have. They want to be able to say, yeah, this person wants to get this power, this victory. But the smart shopper knows that inside this plain old white and blue box, it's the same exact product. You pour them out, they taste exactly the same. They're the exact same thing. Just one is on the left that's a little bit cheaper. So we have a decision to make now, right? Do we want to be able to save some money? Who doesn't want to save some money? Honestly, if I gave you $37 right now, you'd be pretty happy. But you know, you could give yourself $37 by just choosing the box on the left, right? I could go for $37. That's almost 40 bucks. That's Starbucks almost all week, right? Like, who doesn't want that? If I gave you 40 bucks right now, you'd be pretty happy. If you gave me 40 bucks, I'd be ecstatic, right? That's a lot. Look, money's money. I take it. But you have the ability to decide if you're going to keep this money on your own and save it, do other things with it, buy more things with it, buy different things with it, or do we want this power right now? Do we want this victory? Do we want this orange box right now of the same exact stuff? So that's what we got to decide. And determining how we spend our money, one key question we should ask ourselves would be, in the item I'm interested in, is it a need or is it a want? Right? So, and that's a big question. Is this something that I need or is this something that I want? And that's really, really, really important. As you start making more decisions about buying stuff, which you are very soon, every time I want you to be able to decide, do I need this or do I want it? Because what's going to happen is, as you have more bills, as you have more things coming up in your life, you got to make those decisions a lot. I got to make them every single day. Yes, I want Starbucks every day. I don't need Starbucks every day, right? I like the way that first sip of coffee feels. I don't know if I need that every single day. I don't need to spend $10 every single day, right? Because I can do something different with that money, something that's more important to my household, more important to my daughter, more important to the community, right? Because that's one of our powers. All right. All right, so I had to make a decision about being able to save some more money. I am buying a new house, okay? And in looking to buy that house, I had to look at my budget. My budget is how I spend money, the decisions that I make every single day, every week, every month, right? So I had to be able to make a decision. I had to be able to find out how I can start saving money. So instead of going to Starbucks every single day and spending $10 every single day, which is $50 a week, right? I decided, look, Rafi, you have to be able to start saving a little bit more money. You have to be able to decide, because I have that power, right? I have the power to decide if I'm going to try to save money every day, or am I going to fall into my wants versus my needs? I don't need Starbucks every day. I want Starbucks every day. So I had to decide, look, that's $50 a month. How can I save some money? So I decided to just have Starbucks once a week, just have Starbucks on Fridays, right? Just to spend that $10 just on a Friday. Make coffee at home Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. That's saving me $40 a week. That's saving me $160 a month. Who does not want to save $160 a month just on that one decision? Just on that one decision. You were happy if I gave you that $40 earlier. Wouldn't you be happy if I gave you $160? Look, that money's sitting right there. It's waiting for me to be able to save. That was a decision I had. That's the power that I had over the money that I spent. You guys have the ability to make those decisions, help your families make those decisions just as well as I do. All right. All right. So we're going to talk about those needs and wants. So a lot of people, it's, do I want to go to spend money at fast food every day? Or do I have some healthy ingredients at home where I can make my own lunch and save a ton of money? Just like I have to decide, look, is that house, that new house, really important to me? Heck yeah, it's important to me. It's very important to me. So I have to be able to make some of those decisions. That house is important to me because, yeah, I want to be able to get some dogs, let them run in the yard. I want to have a little quieter space to think and to work and for my daughter to play. Those things are important. So yes, I have the ability to make up my mind of, hey, let's save some money somewhere. Let's save some money in my budget every day, every week, every month, right? So those savvy shoppers, right? So those people who are able to say, hey, let me save a little bit. Doesn't have to be every single day. You can go fast food sometimes, but let's not do it every day. What if we practice those powers and decided, hey, maybe let's make something at home today. Let me have my adults make something at home instead of spending as much out. So think about your spending habits in the last week. If you've been able to spend, if you've had the ability to influence your adults to spend money on you. So let's think about that for a second. Think about some of those things that they may have bought you, or may have brought home from the supermarket. Anything, clothes, anything. Think about some of those. And think about if some of those things that they came home with were needs or wants. Are these things that we needed? Did I need that game? Did I need a new game every week? Maybe, maybe not. All right. So and let's think about that list and think about why you wanted that certain thing. Think about when you were in the supermarket, and then you said to yourself, hey, can we buy this over this? Whether we bought the orange box or the white box, which box are we buying? You had the influence over which box is getting purchased, right? Think about those. Think about if those were a need or a want, right? All right. Savvy shoppers, we call them savvy. Those people who are able to make those decisions, we call them savvy shoppers, S-A-V-V-Y. So they're smart with their money and they look for ways to make sure that they get the best deals, right? They make sure that the family can save $40 a year on something. They want to make sure that we're able to save money on car insurance, right? How many commercials do we see about car insurance? They want to be able to make sure that that I have more money. If I'm a savvy shopper, I have more money in my pocket to be able to spend on other things, to be able to save more. So that's what we call a savvy shopper, somebody who can determine if it's a need or a want right then and there. You know, as you develop that power, you're going to be able to make those decisions a little bit quicker and a little bit better because you're going to have practice. And that's the whole point of doing this. Right now, just like Superman, he had to practice. He was flying around, crashing in the buildings in the mountains because he didn't even know how to use that power yet. So right now, since we're in our powers, right? We start practicing them right now. We start practicing when the decisions are a little bit smaller because soon you're gonna have your jobs, you're gonna start looking for cars and deciding college, where you're working, how you're spending your money, because it's gonna be your money soon. So we're talking about this now. Let's crash into the mountains. You guys all right with crashing in the mountains a little bit in the buildings? Let's do that. That's why we're doing this. All right. Have a goal in their life. They want to buy a new car. They want to fix the credit. They want to start a business. You have to be able to decide these needs and wants on the fly. I have coworkers who and customers who say, "Yeah, I don't have enough money." You actually do. You're just not spending it right. So let's talk about spending because this extra money right here. What if I'm able to save that $40 for a week from Starbucks? So what if okay, we're gonna what if we're able to create a little bit more money at the end of the month by saving a little bit more? What if we're able to save a lot? We can't make more in a lot of times unless maybe we work another job. But what if we are able to create that space right here more by saving better? That's how we're making ourselves a little bit more money, right? That's how we're helping ourselves at the end of the day and our families and things like that. All right. All right. So you have to decide, are these items that our adults brought home a need or a want? Why do I want or need this item? Tell yourself that. It's okay to evaluate those things that you're buying every month, every day, every week. What are the features that match my needs or wants? What are these things? What is it about the box of cereal that meets our needs? What is it? Are we trying to save money? Is that our goal? Or do we need that imagery? Do we need that victory, that power, right? Are there trade-offs to buying this product? Am I able to save money by if choosing one or the other? How did the advertisement, right? How did the commercial, how did the gecko, how did Flow, the emu, how did they play into deciding which car insurance I'm going to buy? How did all those advertisements impact my decision? Because remember, they're appealing to you. They're appealing to your ability because they know that you have that power to influence your at-home adults and how they spend their money. So they're appealing to you. They're advertising to you, right? How did the advertisement impact my decision? Can I find that same product? Can I get that cereal somewhere else? Can I get that for a little bit cheaper for the exact same thing? Are there specials? We talk about coupons and savings. We talk about all that. Oh, save 20%. What does that mean? It just means you're paying a little bit less for it. Are there ways for you to be able to, when it's time to go buy those one or two things, to be able to save more money on it? There are ways, right? Tap into your powers because everybody else knows you have that power. That's why they're advertising to you. That's why they have the commercials. That's why they have the billboards. That's why when you're playing your game and the little commercial or you're on social media, little commercial pops up, right? Because they know you're looking at it. They know that you have that power, and that power controls a lot of money. A lot of money. What did we say? $1.2 trillion? That's a lot of money. That's a lot of power. All right. All right. So we're going to talk about this a little bit. Talk about some cell phone shopping. I have a cell phone. I don't do a lot on my cell phone. I talk to you guys. I make calls. I check email, do certain things. It took me a long time to buy a new cell phone because I'm not the kind of guy who needs the brand new iPhone 2000, whatever, every year. I don't need that. I'm not that guy. Because I use my cell phone for work, I need certain features. I need to be able to check my email. I need to be able to call Joanne in a pinch if I need her. I need to be able to do work on my cell phone, right? So I don't play a lot of games on my phone. I don't need that feature. That feature isn't that important to me. I have a computer at home that I do games on, so I don't need that on my phone, right? So when I see advertising, or when I saw advertising for the phones and things like that, when I started looking around on which one I took my time to make the best decision. So let's say, for example, we saw this advertisement, right? It's for the same exact product, mind you, just like the cereal, just the same exact product, but they're appealing to certain things that we might feel are needs and wants, because those needs and wants are different from every person. For every student, what you think is important might not be very important to the next person. All right. So let's start with the one in the middle, for example. And let's say we see this advertising. The biggest thing to me that stands out is this $49.99. That's pretty awesome. That's a decent price, I think, right? It's what jumps out at me right now. And then if I look at the one on the right, it looks like a superstar. Philip loves this phone. He endorses this phone. He's the Serena Williams of this phone, right? He's the advertiser, the one that, oh, I like his music. So he says this phone is fantastic. Oh, and if I like this artist, yeah, I'm probably gonna look at this one because, oh, he said it's awesome. I'm buying that one. That's the one I'm buying. Not looking at the price. I'm looking at the endorsement. That appealed to me, right? That might be important to you. Look at the one on the left. Kind of lists out all those features. Yeah, I'm looking to purchase the C1000, you know. If I saw this, nobody endorsed this one, right? This one is $649, it looks like. That's a lot of money. It's the same phone, but nobody endorsed it, right? So think about your endorsements. Think about Nike. Think about Stars, LeBron, and think about any commercials, Gatorade, McDonald's, any of those things. When you see your favorite person, who doesn't like LeBron James, right? I love LeBron James. Usually when I see him or Michael Jordan, I think I saw an Allen Iverson commercial. I saw a great commercial with Michelle Obama. I pay attention to those. Isn't it weird how you pay a little bit more attention to those than if just some regular person started talking about a product or a service? Isn't it weird how we pay more attention and we think, oh, since Michelle Obama told me to get vaccinated, yeah, I'm gonna go get vaccinated. Or since LeBron James drinks Gatorade, heck yeah, I want to go get Gatorade. I'm probably going to get that versus Powerade or anything, you know? So because of my star, my artist endorsed it, sometimes that triggers something in my ability to make decisions, and that power to be able to say, you know what? I think that's the product for me because my star said that's the best product. You might go with that, you might not. But this is just a perfect example of how people are trying to tap into your powers, right? Because they're going to say, oh, Your star endorses this, so maybe you should go get it too, right? But if price is your thing, I'm buying the phone in the middle, right? If price is my thing and I'm getting the exact same product, the phone in the middle is the one for me, right? But not everybody makes that same decision. And the reason why it's so important that we're talking about this and you guys today is your decisions are going to start getting bigger and bigger and bigger. I'll give you a perfect example. So I am also a city councilman in the town that I live in, right? So I live in Yaden, Delaware County, not too far from here. So I am what we call the finance chair. So where my decisions one day back in the day used to be about which cell phone or cereal I'm buying. Right now, I have decision-making power over millions and millions of dollars of how many employees we need to hire, about how we're going to raise taxes. So those gifts, those powers, I had to practice at a much earlier age. And now being able to apply those powers, I work in the bank, I'm a city councilman. I had to be able to practice and harness those powers. I had to crash into a couple of buildings first, right? And make some of these decisions on a smaller scale, because now the ability to make decisions on a bigger scale is what I'm able to do. Amanda Gorman didn't know in third grade that she was going to be a world famous poet. One of you one day we're going to be calling mayor, senator, an officer, president, vice president. You're going to be doctors. You're going to be lawyers. You're going to be those amazing, magical adults that we already know that you're going to be. You have that power already inside you. We know that you're going to, but we have to be able to make sure that we can practice some of these decision-making skills, because one day you're going to be controlling the decision-making over millions of dollars. Those are going to be things that you're going to have to be talking to customers about how they spend their money, how they save, what decisions to make, how to buy a house, how to start their business, how to buy a car. They're going to be teachers. So we're practicing all these cool powers right now. And as we get bigger, as we get older, those decisions get bigger, right? But that's a beautiful thing. There's beauty in having that power. And being able to use it on that bigger scale is exciting. Did you know that people who don't make good decisions, that don't practice their decision making, usually find it hard to run towards those decisions, those bigger responsibilities? But because your teachers are investing so much time into you, because your at-home adults are investing so much into your decision making. Sorry, it sounds like something's on fire outside. Sorry if it's a little loud. We want to be able to make sure that as you get a little older and those decisions, not only financial decisions, you're going to have to make decisions about your friends. You're going to make decisions about some of the things you do. If you're going to do a job, if you're going to, there's the potential bad decisions out there. So all this is being able to practice making those smaller decisions, because they're going to get bigger. And as we get a little older, our decisions impact so many more people. Right now, your decisions probably just impact you and the folks in your household and in your classroom, right? But as working in a bank, my decisions and the things that I help my customers decide impact a lot of people, impact their companies. The decisions as a councilman, I have tens of thousands of people that live in my town. So my decisions are a little bit bigger right now. How we spend and save money is really, really, really important right now. So as we're practicing and crashing into buildings and doing things like that, you have to decide something now, okay? You have to decide, what am I gonna do? How can I, as a third grader, as a fourth grader, practice using this power? Again, this is the time in the movie where Peter Parker first shoots the spider web out his arm. This is that time for you right now, right? You have that power that you're walking into right now. You have that power that you're about to start using. You have those superpowers, guys. This is the time that we start crashing in the buildings. It's okay. It's okay to do it. Practice your power. Practice when you go to the supermarket. Practice looking at the same product. Or if, you know, it's time to go buy a game or a book bag or jeans, whatever it is, practice those powers right now. Because soon those decisions are going to be cars and houses and businesses, and whether your town is going to buy a trash truck, whether your government is going to buy tanks and, I don't know, jets and have a infrastructure plan. Like, some of those decisions are going to be so much bigger, guys, but don't be scared of it. The scariest part is not making those decisions. The scariest part is, what if Peter Parker never knew he had that superpower? That's scary. What if he walked around and just never tried to shoot the webs out of his arm? What if that happened? Isn't that scary? What if Superman just never became Superman? Maybe, what if he was just still Clark Kent? What if Barack Obama never knew that he had that gift? What if Beyonce knew that she just, oh, maybe I like singing, but, you know, I just, you know, didn't tap into it. I didn't practice it. What if those happen? People every day forget that they have these powers, or they're too scared to use them. People every single day. You know how many Barack Obamas there were before Barack Obama? Probably hundreds and thousands of people who just never had the courage to tap into their power. People who never decided, hey, yeah, I'm gonna sit down, read a little bit more, write a little bit more, because I have a gift. I feel something. I feel something special. There's something special about me. You know it. As you're sitting there right now, you know what that one special thing is. You got to tap into it, guys. It's nothing magical. We're going to be calling you senator at some point. You're going to be the leaders of the companies that we walk into every day. You're going to be the councilmen and councilwomen, the teachers, the officers. You guys are going to have to be able to make those best decisions. You look at the news every day, we see people who didn't make good decisions. Every person who has ever done something good or bad has made a decision to do it or not to do it. And as you get older, those decisions get a little bit bigger. But you can't waste your powers on bad decisions, guys. That's the fear. So we're here hanging out with you today, talking, going to school every day, because we know that it is so super important for you guys to make those best decisions in your lives. One of them is just spending, how you spend your money. But there are other big decisions that you have to be able to make. There are other things, good and bad, that you're going to have to decide. And some of you on this call are going to make terrible decisions. Some of you will make very bad decisions. But know that you have that power to make the good decisions too. You went to school, you had amazing teachers, you had amazing parents, you talked to cool people on these calls who help talk about decisions that we know that you're going to make. You're going to be faced with good and bad decisions. It's just practice. Let's crash into some buildings, okay, guys? And don't be afraid of that. All right. So I could talk about this stuff all day long, but I want to know what's going on in your world, right? I want to know who's been making, have you had to make some of these decisions? I want to know what's going on in your world. Let's chat. I want to know if there are any questions, right? So I want to know who's been able to make good decisions. I want to know about some of those great decisions that you guys have been able to make, all right? All right, so let's talk about a few things. You guys open the chat? All right. So some of the things that I want to know, we could put in the Zoom. I don't know how. Maybe you could put it in the chat rather. The word power is one of my favorite words, right? Again, I love superhero stuff. I love the concept of power and things like that. What's one of your favorite words, right? Like as a third grader, you know, say you're reading a book. What are just some of those things? I want you to, you know, raise your hand if you have an idea. Raise your hand. I'd love to hear what are some of those things, those words that make you happy, those words that kind of appeal to you. I'm gonna pick on somebody first. Mr. Perez, I want to know, and then even maybe Mrs. Baker. I want to know what are some of those great words when you're reading. You just, it could be big or small, it could be a silly word. What's just one word that you love, absolutely love?
You're talking about a general word that I get from.
Yep. Just any word or phrase that you just, you know, just kind of makes you happy.
Well, yeah, I mean, I like the word empowerment.
Yeah, right.
That word always, you know, I don't know, it can mean a lot of things, and
Yeah.
in a lot of different settings. So
Yeah, no, absolutely. And empowerment in education is really important. That's the whole reason why we're probably even on this call, is to be able to empower all these great people on the call, young and old, to make the best decision, to empower you to have the ability to know right from wrong, to know which decision makes the most sense for our families and our households and our neighborhoods and our communities, right? I love the word empowerment. I absolutely love it. Ms. Baker, what's one word that you absolutely, you know, you just see it?
Yeah, I would say peace.
Right.
And with finances, you know, if you spend your money right, you can find some peace. You can't pay for peace,
You
but
some
if you spend wisely and use your money wisely, I think that creates a sense of peace.
Yeah, absolutely. Peace in the neighborhood, uh, peace watching the, you know, the waves roll in somewhere, peace just watching the birds, peace knowing, you know, when I go home from work or school, everybody's happy, my family's happy. Peace is really important. Peace is one of my favorite words. Thanks so much for sharing that. Any students have a word they absolutely love, or they might want to share?
In the chat, someone has happiness in the Q&A.
Nice. Those are awesome words, right? Yeah, when we even see the word happiness, how can someone look at the word happiness and feel bad, right? How can you look at the word peace or love or power, empowerment, and feel bad? That's an awesome one. I love that one. I love that one. What are some decisions
I
that
think
we
another one was persevere.
Oh, look at that. Hasn't, yeah, think about this, guys. Hasn't this been a year when we needed to persevere? Think about it. Think about it. So perseverance is, you know, working through even in good and bad times, right? We've had a tough year. Did you know that you students are going to be even more empowered, even more powerful, because you've persevered through this year? You've gone through things that I never had to go through. Your powers are going to be stronger than what my powers are, or Mr. Perez's powers are, because you've gone through a period in our lives that you had to persevere. You had to still go to school. You still had to go through Zoom school. Zoom school. Who would have thought? Who would have thought we wouldn't be able to see our friends every day? You persevered through that, guys. You guys are making it through this, and you're going to be so much stronger because
I
you've
think we
crashed
have
into the buttons a little bit.
We have a
Yep,
couple
what'd you say?
other comments. We have Lonnie who says helping, so helping someone. And then we have love also.
I actually have love tattooed on my arm. I don't think there's a more powerful word than love. Healthy and think about healthy and helping, right? So this year has been exactly that. Unfortunately, some people have not had a good year health-wise. It's been terrible, but we've seen people rise up and be superheroes, right? We've seen Dr. Stanford rise up and be a superhero in the community, right? We've seen people out feeding other folks, handing out water, building their communities, making sure people get tested and vaccinated, right? People are making masks, using their gifts, using their powers to be able to do those great, amazing things where all those words kind of come back. They're just not words, guys. Those are things that we can persevere. We have the power. We have love. We have the ability to build up our communities every single day. And it's a beautiful thing. It is a beautiful thing, guys.
Mr. Rafi, I do have a question for you. And what advice would you give to our third or fourth grade students out there? You know, if they could, you know, take away from this, what is the first thing that they could do in order to become a more financially literate student? And you know, what could they do? And you mentioned a lot about buying power, things of that nature. What do you think they should start doing as a third and a fourth grader in making these good decisions about money?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think the very first thing is recognizing that you have the power first, because once you know you have the power, you know that I have the ability to make certain decisions. One decision. Number two is one thing that our communities simply do not do enough is save. We don't save enough. Saving, you don't need $1 million to be able to start saving. You don't need a ton of money to be able to start saving. I know in third and fourth grade, you know, we might not have a job yet. We might not get allowance yet. But if we get $5, how about we save $1? How about we start saving the little bit that I have? If you open the drawer and you have $3 and change in your drawer, save 50 cents. We have to be able to start saving and practicing those things right now. Because if we take a look at this, this applies to businesses, this applies to households, this applies to adults. Think of this past year, right? Bad things can happen to good people financially. We didn't know COVID was coming. We didn't know a year and a half ago, we had no idea any of this would happen. Who would have thought we would have had to wear a mask every single day? Who would have thought that people would lose their jobs? The people who had been able to save prior to that and just have that pattern, that practice those powers at an earlier start, were able to put some money aside. Were able to still get groceries and still carry on their household, still put gas in the car, still have their businesses run and be successful, because we would have been able to save a little bit. That's the whole point of saving. We don't do that enough. That's one thing that I wish that even I, as a young adult, had the ability to do, is know better about saving. I grew up really poor. So when I got my hand on money on anything, I was spending it. I didn't know. I didn't have that training. I didn't know that I had that power to be able to make that decision. But yeah, right now as a third, fourth grader, you know, you have might have siblings at home. You have other people who are making decisions about money and saving and practicing saving, even if it's the smallest amount of money. I think that's one thing that we can all do right now. And the more we get in that pattern of saving, some of my richest customers, I meet some customers that are millionaires. Some of my richest customers are people who just saved for a long period of time. Could be somebody who just cleans the hospital next door. They don't make a ton of money, but they save. They have those great behaviors. They make those decisions to be able to save when they know what their wants and their needs are. They know that power that they had and the ability to be able to say, yeah, I'm gonna make sure this is a priority, because I know I need to put money away for the future for a rainy day. Some of my richest customers are just folks who don't make a lot of money, but who have been able to save. But that's one thing that I absolutely know, whether it's 10 cents, $1, $100, whatever it is, we can all save something right now and keep saving. And once we're able to save $5 a month, let's try to make it $10 a month. That money adds up. And think about how we're spending the money, right? Because those are savings too. Remember, we did this, if I brought this down, my spending down, that's the savings. Right here is the savings, right? So if we can practice saving, spending smarter, look for discounts and coupons and know how we're spending, when we're spending, why we're spending it, that's savings too, right? Great question.
All right, if anyone has any last questions, we are towards the end of our presentation, but if you want to ask in the Q&A, any questions for Rafi or Joanne?
And while you guys are doing it, I would love to meet with you guys again one day. If there are ever any other questions, or hey, we need to go over savings a little bit. How does that work? How does investing work? How does credit work? Let's chat about it. Let's talk about this. What we do. I would rather talk to you guys every day than talk to some of my customers. No, don't tell anyone I said that, but I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. You guys empower me as well. So hopefully we picked up a couple cool tips. And before we go, don't forget you got the power. You got it already, guys. All right, but you got to practice it. All right.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Rafi Cave and Joanne, for your presentation this morning. And I want to thank the Cheltenham PTO, Ms. Baker, for organizing this. And hopefully this is a start for maybe some other additional opportunities moving forward. Thank you so much. And thank you so much to those folks who joined us this morning. Enjoy and have a great day.